Many millions of people are waking up every morning watching GMA, and I want to make sure that we are doing our best to inform all of our viewers fully, completely, and accurately, and in a compelling way. Yeah, I take that seriously. I think that it's important to have a completely open, sort of global view when, telling stories.
Every child spends most of their time playing imagination games and playing pretend games and making up stories, and that's what I do for a job now. But for the most part, most of my job is just thinking of cool, fun things and then getting other people to act them out and shoot them and make them real. And so I can't imagine a more fun job than that.
People come to you to fix their problems. And by that I mean sometimes you have to be a psychologist, sometimes you're a den mother, sometimes you're, it just varies. I think maybe the biggest thing is that we get to do justice however you define that.
I submitted a proposal to become part of the first Mars rover mission, and the proposal was actually accepted. And then it just set the course for the next 10 years of my life. And then I was working largely up at JPL, NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory. In between teaching, I get a chance to work on 3 or 4 different projects that some people find surprising because they're quite different. One is to stay involved with the Mars rover mission data that comes down to Earth every day, and we make decisions about where the rover should go next.
In any given day, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what markets, how markets are going to behave. I don't know what the news cycle is going to be. And so the ability to react, think on my feet, because as an investment banker, that's what I'm really doing. I'm doing one of two things. I'm either solving problems or creating opportunities.
Jamaica does not have landscape architecture as a profession at all, and so when I do go back eventually after getting a lot of experience here in the States, I'll be the first landscape architect there, which is terrifying but also exciting.
2 or 3 years ago, we discovered that there's a certain set of markers in the blood in individuals that are going to go on to develop Alzheimer's disease. And again, this is before they actually develop symptoms. What this means is that we have a potential window of opportunity to treat these people before the disease actually manifests. And that's really an exciting thing, and it's really an exciting place to be and work to be doing.
Hobart was the first place I had taken a film analysis class and started really watching New Wave films and Hitchcock films and noir films in a way that realizing that film had a language. And I don't believe that there's a film professor at NYU that's better than Liz Lyons. I don't believe it. I always say it, I still use those things every day.
If it weren't for my professors, especially Professor Stan Matthews, and him telling me, no, you should be applying to Harvard, you should be really pushing yourself, I would not have known that I belonged here.
That environment fosters a safe place to grow intellectually emotionally and socially. And I think that Hobart and William Smith do a great job of providing that sort of environment.
Career Services is the reason why I work at ABC. That office hooked me up with an alum's father who worked at ABC Radio. And through that connection, I was able to get an internship, which led into a sort of freelance desk assistant job, which turned into production associate and onward. So it was all about that connection I made my sophomore year of college.
To be able to pick up independent research, I think that may have been the most important at all. I've always been a cautious book learner. I don't just learn stuff for the sake of learning it. I need to feel a passion that comes along with motivating education, and then I dig right in. And so, the colleges created that environment, and I really think that the discovery of the honors program, where I did a study on Lake Seneca, it just changed my life.
Those kinds of experiences I think are invaluable, and you get that at Hobart and William Smith.
Every weekend was filled with something fun to do. I loved going to sporting events, going to hockey games, at the cooler.
It's a beautiful place to spend 4 years of your life.
Go somewhere where you can really be forced to rethink yourself.
Engage in whatever it's going to be that will help shape your life.
Find out what you're interested in and do it.
Explore yourself and who you are, and to find your voice.
Go to a place where the environment stimulates you. So someplace beautiful.
It's sort of like the balance between a small school with access to the entire world.